All righty, we are officially live, and today we are going to be breaking down exactly how to create a batch of videos in like an hour. And we're literally going to be showing you the exact system that I personally used in another brand that we built up to over 100,000 subscribers and did just over 7 figures. We did that by following what we're going to share here today on this little video here, this little live stream. So what we want to do here though, is we want to understand like what it actually means to create consistent content. Because that's what we're trying to do here. It's like, how do we stay consistent, which is a lot of times the hardest thing for a lot of people. What I'd like to know here before we do get rocking and rolling here, because we've got a lot to cover. I want to know right now, how often are you publishing videos? Is it once per week? Is it twice a week? Is it once a month? And just let us know. Is that something that you struggle with? Because I know for the longest time, we did struggle with that. But now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go back to what we were doing in the past to make it easier. So this way here, we're able to put out content on a regular basis like we are right now, but we can do it in a way that we only have to spend an hour, maybe 90 minutes a week. Does that sound good? Let us know in the comments if that sounds like something that you would like to be able to do. Imagine sitting down for 1 hour, that's it. And from there, getting 3 to 4 videos where you can put those out on your channel on a regular basis. You could be done for the month if you're only doing 1 per week. But that's what we're going to be doing. Now, here's the deal. This is kind of meta. And what I mean by that is we're literally doing the system that we're going to be teaching you right now. Yep. Like it's literally going to happen. And I know Scotty is going to be here on camera with us right now as we're kind of going through this. We're going to be answering questions because this portion is the live portion. But once we get into the actual recording, I want you to imagine you've planned what you're going to be recording ahead of time, like I have done, and I'm going to share with you what that is. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create these individual videos right here, right now on this live stream. And then those videos are going to get published, and we'll talk about all of that. Scotty, anything you wanted to say here before we actually get into the full system here?
No, I think this is, like you said, this is kind of meta right here. So make sure you're paying attention. This is something that could definitely make the process a lot easier for you if you're stuck with, oh, I got to record this week. I got to do this, got to do that. This makes it super simple, super easy. And ultimately, it's a little cheat code.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I want to know this before we move on is how many coaches, course creators, consultants do we have with us here today? If you're a coach, a consultant, or a course creator, let us know that in the comments. You're going to see in this live stream, there's a few of these topics that we're going to be talking about because you're going to hear how this is all kind of laid out here in a minute. But basically, what we're going to be doing is for us, and I'm going to share with you how you can do this for yourself, how we are creating content that's going to attract our ideal audience. Like, how are we going to do it? We're going to do it with exactly what we're going to be sharing with you, but it's really, really important that we understand that. But more importantly, I want you to start thinking as we're going through this, how could I do this? And I'm going to give you like the framework and everything that we're doing. But right now, I'll just let you know, I spent about, I'd say 30 minutes planning of what I was going to do here on this. Now, this is not scripted. I'm not going to script anything today. This is just going to be bullet points, and this is going to be me kind of going through this strategy. But there are going to be some of these topics that we're going to be covering because they're going to be the videos that we're creating during this live stream that are going to be tailored towards group coaching. We're going to do it for business owners. Like, you're going to see that, and we'll kind of talk through how we even arrived at that. Scotty, is there any quick questions we had before we get into it?
No, but I just want to give a little shout out to Jay. Jay said he was here all the way back from our 24-hour live stream.
Oh, wow.
He said that was powerful to watch your grit to get those videos done. Yeah, we got it done, man. I don't know if we're doing that ever again, but we got it done.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. All right, cool. So let's do this then, Scotty. I think I'm going to go full screen, and I know that this won't be part of it, but then if you want to come back in, if we have questions, we can go ahead and we can get to it. All right. So let's just go ahead and let's do that. I'm going to go full screen. And guys, if you're wondering what we're using StreamYard to do this. All right. And then what I'm going to do, think about this, guys. You guys have probably heard this before. You're kind of seeing how the sausage is made. Like right now, we're actually making the sausage. All right. It's literally what we're doing. And I'm going to share with you right now. And Scotty, I'm going to pull this back up. So this right here, this is what I did to plan for this. All right. This is what I did to plan. And basically all I did was I went into my Keynote, which is basically on the Mac, but you can use whatever you want. You can even use notes, whatever. And I basically planned out everything that I'm going to be talking about in this segment. Then from here, this is going to be my next video. This is going to be my next video. And this is going to be my next video. But this is going to be my notes for what I'm sharing with you for this front half of this live stream. All right. So I'll be glancing down at times, just a little bit, just glancing to see what I need to cover. And then in post edit, we could always clean that up. But in this case, this is a live stream, so we're not going to do that. All right. So I want to kind of walk through though, what this whole system and kind of, or like what it is and how it works. All right. So we're calling it the 1 hour content system. Very, really original. I know. All right. But the idea is this: we want to be able to sit down. At least this is what I said to Scotty. I go, listen, I want to go back to what I used to do. And this is how it worked. I would jump on, do a live stream just like I'm doing right now. All right. And it didn't matter if there was one person there, no people there, or 100 people there. It just didn't matter. Now, yes, do we want to build the community? Do we want to, be able to connect with you on the other side if you're here live? 100%. But the main focus here and the main purpose of this is that I'm allowing an hour and sometimes up to 90 minutes. If we want to go a little bit longer, we can, but I'm allowing 1 hour to be able to record 3 to 4 videos. So the other thing that we're doing is we're going live because that makes it where I can't start and stop. I have to keep going because I could start and stop, which I'm going to a little bit later. You're going to see when we get into the content creation of these other assets that we're going to be building, these other videos, you'll see how I start and stop and how I'm going to set each video up. But I want you to just imagine for a second, you literally can spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes outlining your videos. Okay. And again, like if we go back here, this is my outlining process. All right. Let me go back here real quick. That's my outline. That's today's outline. That's it. All right. And I'll go through it here in a second, but you wouldn't necessarily see this. You wouldn't have to. I would just basically show up and I'm going to present. All right. So, and I'll walk through everything here so it all makes sense. All right. So that's what I want you to understand. So what we're doing is we're taking a block of time. We're going to make a commitment that every single week we are going to do a live stream. Okay. In this right now, Scotty, who's here with me right now, you can't see him because he's behind the scenes. He's actually off camera, but he's going to be here for the lives. If they've got questions, people can ask questions. We can come on and do a live Q&A section. Okay, cool. That's awesome. But we have to find a time that works for him and it works for me. Now, if you're doing this solo, you can do it whenever you want. You just have to make sure that you commit to that. So we're going to be committing right now until he goes back to his day job, which is a school teacher, which is going to be in a couple weeks. We're going to be doing these. Typically, it's going to be Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. That's the allotted time. That is the block. So now what does this do? This makes it to where it's like, okay, I've got to prepare and be ready for 4 o'clock on Mondays. That's it. So I can spend an hour and I can prep for that. And then once I get that all done, guess what? Then it's a matter of hitting record or hitting live and then presenting. And then after we're done with that, now we have this live stream, which is being recorded right now in StreamYard. So StreamYard, the other cool thing is with StreamYard, I can go live, but also behind the scenes, there's a recording that's happening locally on my computer and it's happening on Scotty's computer in high def. So this way here, if we have an internet glitch, which we have at times, well, that's not a problem because it's being recorded in real time. The other thing is it'll be full screen. So if I went down to a small, like let's say I was sharing the screen, it'll give me full screen without seeing the screen, and then it'll give me with the screen. So there's all of these things that we can do with this. So it's all done. All I need to do is show up. And then what we do is we take that video and now we cut it. And I'm not talking cut it up like shorts. Like a lot of times people are like, oh, take a video that you created and come up with all these short little pieces and then broadcast those. That's not what we're talking about. I actually found that doing that was harder because then you're trying to find like, what's a good entry point? It doesn't really set up the hook. It made it really hard. So I said, why don't we just do this as, intentionally doing it? Okay. And I'm telling you right now, like once you do this, it's going to free you because you're like, all I need to do is show up once a week. I can record all my videos either for the week, for the month. Like what we're doing is our posting schedule is going to be Monday live stream, Wednesday dedicated video, Friday dedicated video, and Sunday podcast episode. So that's our schedule right now. So that means I go live just like I'm doing right here. That's that one piece of content. And then there's going to be 2 additional videos that are going to be pulled from this live stream. Now, the kickback that I get from this, because I've actually taught this before. I taught this to a group of coaches and course creators for Ryan Lee. If you guys don't know Ryan Lee, he's been in the marketing, in the business game for years. I'm a good friend of his. He's a good friend of mine. We've become really, really good friends. But I taught it to a group of coaches. I think about 100 or 150 coaches I taught this to. And this was probably around 6 to 9 months ago. I taught it because he was like, this is brilliant. All you got to do is show up once and then you can get this content. But the kickback that I get in the sticking point for people is like, yeah, but Scott, you already recorded or did the live stream. Why are you going to repurpose that later? Like people are going to get mad at you. Here's the thing. I'm doing a live stream right now. This first part is going to be probably 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Okay. Well, after that, that's where those other videos are going to lie. Now you're going to get some diehards that are going to watch all the way through, and that might be you. And thank you. Now if you see one of those other videos, you might click on it and go, oh, I already saw that. Or you might not have ever made it there because we can look at our retention, by the way. We all know that on our analytics. We can see the analytics. We can see, okay, on our live streams, typically people are going to stick around for 15 minutes, which is great, by the way. Getting 15 minutes retention, that's amazing. But that means that most people are only staying for 15 minutes. The rest of that is just dead air. No one has saw that. So why not take that clip and then put it on as a dedicated video? So now with that clip, because we're going to do it in a strategic way, which I'm going to share that with you. But once we get that done, now I'm going to have an intro that I'm setting up purposely. I'm going to have my content that's structured. I'm going to have my calls to action in there, which I'm going to get into the video formula here in a little bit too. I'm going to have that. And then I'm going to have a call to action at the end that's going to say what to watch next. And then we're going to wrap that up with its own thumbnail, its own title. And now that becomes its own dedicated video. So imagine that now. You sit down 1 hour a week. Now, yes, you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to cut those up. But if you do it in a way that all you got to do is cut the front and cut the back, you're pretty good. If you want to get fancy, you want to add, maybe a slide here or there, you can do that. We're still going to figure out what's going to be our system that we don't spend an hour editing a video, but we're going to come up with a system and a process that makes that to where it's at least branded in a way that looks like our stuff. We're still working those details out for this brand. I used to do it in the other brand and Scotty was our editor. Okay. And it worked great because all I would do is show up once a week for 60 to 90 minutes. And my content was done for generally about 2 weeks. So then what you do is you start stockpiling some of this content, or you might say, you know what? I want to post another video during the week. I want to post another one. Post it. You got it. All right. So let's get into what this looks like. There's actually 9 steps to this process, and feel free to take notes, or you can just go back and watch this video again. All right. So the 1 hour content system works like this. The very first thing that we need to do is we need to come up with 3 to 4 video topics. So yesterday when I was out by the pool, sitting there, just hanging out, I started to think to myself, all right, what are some topics that I could cover on my next batch of videos? And so what's going to happen here too is like, I'm just going to start creating a catalog of topics. And I mean topics like, okay, for us, it's going to be, yes, how to get more views, how to get more subscribers. That was like typical of what we were doing. But now we're focusing a lot of our attention on reaching coaches and course creators and consultants, people like that. So now we're starting to tailor it towards business. So now we're like, okay, business bucket. We have a coaches bucket. We might have a consultant bucket. We might have, go outside of that and go even a little bit more niche, go like fitness coaches, right? Now we've got these different angles to play with. So it's like, okay, let's just keep coming up with our ideas. Now, what we do also is, we will look at some of our videos that had done good in the past. We'll build off of those. All right. So the very first step though, is to come up with those 3 to 4 topics. Okay. The video topics. Then moving on to step 2 is going to be creating the title. So now the titles, number one thing that we want to do here is we want to create a title. All right. I've already got the titles for this already done. Okay. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do this on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my slides. And so you're going to see this right here. So this one right here, that's this video, this live stream, the exact YouTube content system to explode your business in just 1 hour a week. Okay. That's the title. Now let's look at the next title. The 1 hour YouTube content strategy to grow your business without posting daily. Now you're going to see there's a little hack here that I'm doing that's going to allow me to create this video, which is going to be always the video that I do immediately after the live stream. And I'll talk about that here when we get through the rest of these steps. But that's the other title that we're going to be using here. Okay. This one here, the YouTube strategy we're using to build a 7-figure coaching business. So see here, we went after coaching business. We went 7 figures. We went YouTube strategy. If I go back here, this is the 1 hour YouTube content strategy. So now that's content strategy for people that are on YouTube, but then to grow your business. So now we went and we signaled the business owners. Okay. So that's that. And then the last one is 7 steps to launching a $15,000 group coaching program, only 90 minutes per week. All right. So that's the one that we're going to be doing. Why are we doing that one? Because people are interested in launching a group coaching program. If you're a coach and you're doing one-on-ones, you want to do group coaching. I'll tell you that firsthand. I've done it. That's what we're doing. All right. So those are the topics. They're done. Okay. They're already done. So I don't need to worry about those because I've already got them written down. All right. Now, once we have those, now what do we need to do? Well, that's step 3. Now, and this is what I did this morning, is I came up with 3 to 5 bullet points for each video. Okay. 3 to 5 bullet points for each videos. Now, this one here has 9. But that's just because it's 9 steps. It doesn't mean it has to be like those are bullet points. Yes, these are bulleted, but these are the steps. If you're ever retracing a step or steps, then it's going to be however many steps. Okay. In this case, I've got 9. All right. So that's the next thing we need to do. The next thing, number 4, is we need to create the main topic for the live stream. It's its own video. So I want you to think about a YouTube video itself is a dedicated video. You upload it, not there live. It just uploads, you schedule it, whatever, boom, there it is. But do you realize once you're done with a live stream, it becomes a video that stands on its own and it gets its own impressions. It gets its own views. It gets its own subscribers. It gets its watch time. It gets all that. So it's like you're creating a live stream. You get that live stream, feel, but you also have a dedicated video now that it turns into a dedicated video once you are done. Okay. And we've had several videos, even on this channel, but my other channel that I was running, which I no longer am running at this time, we've kind of paused that one. But we had live streams that have gotten 80 to 100,000 views. They just keep on giving. And it's also like this here, this will be a resource that I'll probably point to. So our email list, I'll let people know hey, if you struggle with creating content, here's our 1 hour content system. Go check it out. And boom, here they are. And that's a way for us to connect with them. So it's not just the traffic that you're getting from that on YouTube. Yes, that's great, but it also becomes this really valuable asset. All right. So that is where we at here. That was number 4. That's creating the main topic. So the main topic in today, and this one was the exact YouTube content system to explode your business in just 1 hour a week. Boom, there it is. Now, what's the next thing we need to do? Number 5, we need to schedule the live stream. We're using StreamYard. And yes, if you would like to support us and buy us a cup of coffee like I got right here today, you can go through our affiliate link for StreamYard. All right, that's what we use. That's what I've been using now for probably over 5 years, and it works great. And it gives you that really good recording that if your internet was a little glitchy, it'll still be recording in HD. So that's our live streaming. That's what we're doing right now. All right, so that's number 5. We need to schedule it. And then number 6, we need to go live. We need to tell our audience what we're doing. Like, I wouldn't try to disguise that. And we never did. Like on my other channel, we talked about e-commerce, we talked about Etsy, we talked about Amazon. I would say, here's the topic for today. Like I would start it like, hey, in today's live, we're going to talk about the exact YouTube content system to explode your business. And we're going to cover that. There's 9 steps. I'm going to walk you through those. But today I'm also going to be talking about these other 3 topics. And those are actually going to be videos that we're going to release here on the channel, but you're going to get to see them before we actually release them. So you see what I did there? I told them, like, why not let them be part of the behind the scenes? And then when you do that, you get this loyal fan, right? This person that is like, man, I just love how they're just being so transparent. You can't lose. All right. So that's that. Tell your audience what you're doing. Don't try to hide it, because you're going to see here in a little bit, I'm going to literally pause and I'm going to jump in and do my intro. And I'm going to do it as if if it was a dedicated video. Okay. Okay. Now, the 7th thing, okay, the 7th step here is then we need to end the live. And then what happens once we end the live? Well, that's when we're going to take that, we're going to download it, and we're going to cut it up. And this is where I would hand it off to Scotty, and it's going to get put up in Dropbox, and then he's going to go ahead and he's going to pull it down, and then he's going to go ahead and cut it, and he'll add a little bit of polish to it, and then he's going to upload and schedule it and be done. Okay, so that's it. That's number 7. Number 8, well, I should have said number 8 is part of number 7, because once we get done with the edits, we got to create the packaging. We got to create the thumbnails. So then you create that thumbnail. And that's the other thing I would say is on the thumbnails, super important, but also don't make them or don't feel like you have to have this really, really highly edited. I think that does worse. I mean, it's going to depend on your niche, but for us, I just keep it simple and also try to keep it on brand. All right. Just try to keep it on brand. And you just want people to know, like when they're scrolling, you want them to be able to read what's on there. So don't put your whole title on there. You just want to put, on there something that's going to grab the attention. Like today's, I think this thumbnail was like 1 hour, or I think it was 1 hour to explode your business or something like that. It was something along those lines. Okay. So create the thumbnail, and then the 9th thing is you need to upload the video. And if you're going to upload multiple videos, you're going to then schedule them. So imagine this. We sit down, we get this all done. It goes up into the Dropbox. Scotty pulls it down. He can sit down, and let's just say he takes an hour and he does the 3 videos. He cuts them, does his quick edits, and uploads and schedules. He's done for the week. I'm done for the week. Okay. So that's the power in this. And the one thing that I think people don't realize is that consistency is going to win. Consistency is going to win. And I don't mean frequency. I mean consistency. Like, I'm not saying you have to do 3 videos a week. I'm not saying you got to do 5 videos a week. You just need to be consistent. So for us, you're going to notice if you follow along, we are going to be consistent doing a live stream. That's going to be recording day. But we're going to have an audience, a live audience there, because I do better in front of a live audience. I just do. And then from there, we're going to be able to record all of that and then download it, cut it up, put it up, and we've got our content system all dialed in. And then I can focus on helping our clients. I could help people in our community. I could respond to emails. Like, I can do those things because this here is going to be not consuming my life. And that's what content can feel a lot of times. Now, is there some prep work here? Yes. But the only prep work that really needs to be done is you got to come up with your topics and your titles. And then you need to outline them. And you can literally sit there on your phone while you're relaxing, and you can bullet point it out. You could also lean into some Chat GPT. I tend to not do too much with Chat GPT for my bullets because my bullets are mine. They're kind of like what I'm coming up with. But sometimes you could just, if you wanted to have it help you come up with like 3 to 5 things, but you should know your topic enough. But if you wanted it to spit out some, it could definitely help you with that. Sometimes though, getting too many, like if people are putting in titles, they're putting in all the titles. They're like, well, yeah, I want to, get these titles, to be perfect. Sometimes it gets overwhelming because then you get too many titles. So you just got to kind of pick one and go with it. All right. Now, this is all about getting steady leads for us. Okay. And we've talked about this recently. This content plan is not about getting a viral video. It's not about getting hundreds of thousands of views, although that would be nice. But our thing is getting steady leads, and every asset that we put out there will get us steady leads. And that's what we're really focusing on. We've started this channel just over a year, and we've grown it to over 35,000 subscribers, which is great. But more importantly, we have over 11,000 people on an email list that came from our videos, and we're getting people every single day. All right. So that's the power in what this can do for you. And if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're a course creator, you know how important leads are. We actually did a full training on just that. Like, what is our lead system? And here's part of this little system as well, is where I should be giving you something for free in exchange for your email address. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you know about a free training that we did. We also are having a playbook put together. So depending on when you're watching this, you'll also get the playbook, but it's going to break down how we are creating a steady leads. We call it a flywheel, to where we're getting steady leads every single day from a very, very simple system. And if you would like to get access to that full training for free and the playbook, just put leads in the comments. All right, just put leads in the comments, and you will show us that you want it by raising your hand, and then we'll send you that. We will manually do it. There's no automation here, by the way. All right, and I'm going to get into the video formula here in a second, which I think is going to really wrap this up nicely for you, because a lot of people are like, okay, but what's the video got to look like? And I'll actually walk you through what that looks like because I'm going to be demonstrating it as well. All right, so that's what we want to do there. We want to be focusing on consistency, and how can we do it? We can follow a system like this, and then we're going to be getting those steady leads. All right. And again, you want to mention whatever your free thing is, you want to mention that. Now, I might have waited a little bit long here. I mean, we're 20 some minutes in here, but that's okay. The live stream, I don't really care so much about that. Yes, I probably could have did it a little bit sooner, but you're going to see when I get into the other videos, you're going to see how I'm layering these in, because it's really, really important. And also, again, if you want to check out that free training, just put leads in the comments and we'll send you that. And it's like, I think it was almost 2 hours of us. We taught it to a group of, I think it was like 40 coaches and course creators. And we broke it down. So if you'd like that, just put leads in the comments and we'll send it to you. All right. We're going to get into the video formula now. All right. So we got all of that done. Now that makes, let me know if that makes sense. And is that exciting? Let me know in the comments. Like, does that make sense? And does that make it seem like, man, that would be amazing to be able to sit down for an hour and get my videos done and be done with it, and have that consistent content being put out there on your behalf without you needing to create a video, every other day, or, sit down every time to structure the video and script the video and all that stuff. Would that feel better? Let me know in the comments. All right. So I'm going to get into the video formula, then we're going to wrap this one up, and then we're going to get right into it. And I'll explain what I'm doing here. Okay. So the video formula, and I'm going to break this down very, very simply for you. It's going to start with the intro hook. So the intro hook, a lot of times, and you're going to see that here in a second, I'm going to demonstrate it. It's basically the title, because the title should be a hook enough to draw people in. So in this case, the exact YouTube content system to explode your business. So I could have started this if I didn't do any little bit of like, hey, welcome to this live stream, anything like that, because typically we don't want to do that. But because this was a live stream, I knew that, and I just wanted to kind of address people really quickly. But you would start it like, in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact YouTube content system to explode your business. And this is actually one. Now, this is where I would add a little bit to it. This is actually a system that allowed me to build another channel to over 100,000 subscribers, over 25,000 emails or email addresses on my list, and we were able to do multiple 7 figures. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you here today. So see, boom, I opened up with what they clicked on, and then I gave a little bit of authority there. Okay. You don't always have to do that, but that's what I usually will do. You just drop a little bit of like, why should I be listening to you? Okay. So video formula is the intro hook. And that I just did that. It doesn't have to be long. That's where we want to hook the viewer, and not in a bad way. We want to let them know this is something I've got for you that I think is going to change something for you. It's going to add something to your life in a positive way. All right. And that could be even you telling someone about a mistake to avoid. All right. So video hook, the intro is extremely important. And then this is a little bit of a content sandwich, I'm calling this. Okay. So think about it like a hamburger. All right. We've got the top bun, right? Who doesn't love hamburgers? So top bun, sorry about all the vegans out there. Sorry. So you got the top bun. All right. That's going to be the part 1 of the content. That's going to be, we're going to get right into it. So I open with the intro hook, and then boom, I'm right into the content. I'm not going to dilly dally. And people will love you for that. So just get right into it. The middle of this now, all right, the meat is going to be the lead magnet call to action. All right. That's where we're going to, and we're not spending a lot of time there. I know it sounds like, there's a lot there because there's meat, but there's not. It's just literally, we're putting it in between part 1 and part 2 of the content. So while we're doing part 1, we then segue and we talk about the lead magnet that we're talking about. And the magnet is basically something that we would give away for free. All right. And I'm going to show you this in real time here shortly. Okay. So part 1, and this is the second part of this, is intro hook, then the content, part 1, then the lead magnet call to action. And then we're going to follow it up with part 2 of the content. And then we are going to not go, okay, great. Hopefully you got value from this. Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. We're not doing that. What we're going to do is we are going to address either a problem or something that they need to do next. And then we're going to say, and there's a video right here that actually walks you through how to do that. I'll see you over there. Right. So we're going to lead people over, and we call that a binge loop. This is where we keep people watching more of our videos, because here's the deal. You're going to get someone that watches a video like this, and then at the end, they go to that other video, and they might not have joined your email list from the first video, but they joined it from the second video or the third video or the fourth video. And it also gets them to consume more of you. All right. So bonus tip. And this is exactly what's going to happen here next, because guys, this is meta, really, really meta. This is like, I'm going to be doing this in real time. To do your next video, okay, your next video could be, and it's going to be for me, is a complete recap of this. This was 33 minutes from the time I started this. Right now, I'm going to condense that down into 8 to 10 minutes, and that's going to have a brand new title. It's going to have very, very tight, content. It's going to have a call to action in there, and it's going to have where to go next to get something else that you need to know to make this work. All right. So a recap is going to be, and you're not going to go, hey guys, this is a recap from a video I just did. You're just going to set it up, and you're going to cover what you just shared on the live stream, but in a tighter package. All right. So that's where I am going to go. Okay, cut. Let's cut, and let's see if we got any questions. And if you guys do, let me know. And then we're going to jump into the next section here of this, and we're going to show you how this all works. So if we have any questions, let's go ahead and get to those now. Scotty,
we got one question in here. Is it smart to start small at first to make things run smooth, or build and wait? That has been my biggest issue while building and creating everything.
Okay. Is it smart to start small at first, make things run smooth? Yeah. Okay. So people always ask, like, how many videos should I post a week? Don't start trying to post, 3 videos a week. I would get it dialed in. Okay. Now, with that being said, if you do this system, you're going to probably be able to do a minimum of 2 videos a week. Okay. Because number one, you're going to have your live stream. That's going to be video recording day, let's say, and then you're going to be able to do at least one video because you're going to recap the main topic that you just covered. So you're always going to be able to do that. Okay. So you'll at least get 2 videos a week with really only showing up once. So hopefully that makes sense.
And do you keep the live stream up as a video under the live tab or hiding it? Yeah, we keep it up. So yeah, there's no change to that. And again, like he said earlier, right? Some people are like, oh, why are you doing this? Some people already seen it, right? But the amount of people that seen it majority of the time aren't even the same audience, right? It's probably 90% have not seen that video. And even if they have, they can just go to another video or click off of it, right? It's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. Plus, that's why we have all those subtopics, because those are going to be individual titles. It's not like it's the same title we're going to keep putting out there. It's all different titles with different topics.
Yep.
All right, you're good.
Cool. All right. So again, like, I'm being totally transparent with you, and I want you to model this. Like right now, and Scotty and I talked about it. Like, we could do this privately and not do it in front of a live audience. We could, or I could let you be part of this, process. And for those that want to kind of see how the sausage is made, then you can hang out. But honestly, if Scotty and I just did this privately, which you can do that in StreamYard too, by the way, and this isn't a plug for StreamYard, although if you are doing live streaming, I would definitely recommend it. And we have a link in our description, and you'll buy us a cup of coffee if you go through our link. But when you go live, you do get this interaction, right? We do get some questions. We're able to then answer the questions. This also, it shows other people that are coming in for the first time, maybe like, oh, people listen to these guys. These guys must know what they're talking about. They're an authority in this space or whatever, right? Like, you get a little bit of that. So there's a lot of pros to that. But one thing is like right now, I'm not going to stop. And so what makes that really good is that you don't get the dreaded, you start and then you're like, I didn't like the way that sounded. All right, here we go. I'm going to do it again. I didn't like the way that sounded, right? Who else has done that? Anybody else? Or is that just me? Yeah, I've done it too. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do a few takes here, but when you do a few takes, you're going to tell your audience, guys, I'm going to do that again. Okay. So I just think that it makes it more transparent for your audience. Even if you're not in this space of like marketing, let's say that you're a fitness coach, you could just do that and show people behind the scenes of you creating content, and they're going to learn from the content because the content you're creating is helping people like them. It's just, you're kind of like, it's like always seeing behind, the music, right? Where you watch people, how they make the music video. You're like, oh, that's cool. I like to see how they did that and how they got it to where it was the final video or whatever. But then they're also learning your personality. They're learning more about you, all of that stuff. So, and guys, is this helpful? Are you guys enjoying this? Let me know that in the comments. All right, cool. So what we're going to do now is we are going to literally do exactly what I just said. So I am going to pull up my other slide now, and I am going to get into it. All right. All right. Now I'm scanning my notes real quick. And I'm kind of getting a grasp of where I'm going, and I might be glancing down, up, but that's okay. All right. All right, here we go. All right. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 1-hour YouTube content strategy to grow your business. And here's the deal: without posting daily. Because here's the thing, we don't want to, as coaches, as course creators, as consultants, as people that are running businesses, we don't want to be on social media all the time. We don't want to be recording videos for 6 hours a week. So what we want to do is we want to create a system, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. And this system I've been using now for years. I used it in another brand that I built up to over 100,000 subscribers and did over 7 figures from this exact system. 1 hour, sometimes I go to 90 minutes, but we're going to say 1 hour of dedicated time, and we are going to be able to create enough video, in some cases, for a complete month. So with that being said, let's get into it. The very first thing is we need to think about the 3 to 4 different topics that we want to talk about. Don't worry about how we're going to record these yet. I'll get to that. But what we want to do is we want to sit down. Don't think about the video production or editing or anything like that. We want to start with what are 3 to 4 topics that we know that our niche is interested in and what is going to help them. All right. So for us, we know that right now we're helping coaches and course creators and consultants. We're helping them get exposure on YouTube without spending money on ads. That's what we're focusing on. So now what we're doing is we're listening to our audience, and then we're going, okay, what are they stuck on? Well, we know that our audience, they're busy. They are busy running their business. They're busy with clients. They don't have time to be creating videos, although they've been wanting to, but they just haven't gotten around to it. Well, for me to share this with coaches and course creators and business owners, they're like, whoa, let me see how I could do this. And that's the whole goal here. So you want to think to yourself, what are 3 to 4 topics that your audience needs to know about, but also wants to know about? All right. So that's the very first thing in this process. And I've actually got 9 things I'm going to be covering here. All right. The second thing is then we have to go into title creation mode. This is where we don't want to just say, okay, we're going to throw up a video there with a boring, title. We want to grab attention. And a lot of times what we're going to do is we're going to model other titles that have done really well, either in our niche or in other niches. Or if you've been doing this a little while, you're going to start to see titles that have done really well for you and your channel. And then you can just kind of rework those. Now, we did put together a swipe file of 10 of our top titles that we've used over the years that have gotten us hundreds of thousands of views, and it's built our email list tremendously. And what we do is we give this out to our students and our clients. I'd love to give you access to that. And if you would like access to that, just go ahead and put hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy of that. And this actually is breaking down titles that you could use, and I show you how to use them in multiple niches. And I literally break it down so you can just plug and play. And it's a great jumping off point. So if you want that, just put hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy. All right. The next thing is, and the third thing is, we need to come up with 3 to 5 bullet points. So if you notice, we're kind of like just planning right now. And literally you could do this out by the pool. You could do it on your couch. You could do it on your walk. And you can just start thinking to yourself, okay, here's the topic. Here's the title. What are the 3 to 5 things that I need to cover in this piece of content? So you see, we're not thinking about recording right now. We're just getting ourselves planning what we're going to be talking about when we're doing this. All right. Now, the next thing, and this is the important thing, is now what we're going to do is we are going to create a main topic. And there's a reason for this. All right. And what I mean by a main topic is, what is something that I could address to my audience that I could do a live stream on? Now, you might get a little, oh my gosh, Scott, I don't want to do a live stream. If you don't want to do a live stream, then you need to pretend that you can't hit stop on your camera. All right. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you know as well as I do, and I've done it, where I hit record and then I start and I'm like, oh, I don't like the way that sounds. And then I start again. Oh, I don't like the way that sounds. So here's the deal. We need to pretend we can't do that. And actually right now, little secret, I'm actually doing it as we speak right now. I'm actually recording this while I'm on with a live audience. All right. So this allows me to not start and stop. So I would definitely recommend you do that. And if you do a live stream, you're also going to get another video out there, because once your live is done, it turns into a dedicated video and you'll get your own impressions, you'll get your own views, you'll get your own likes, you'll get your own comments and all of that. So there's really a lot of power in doing that. All right. So create that main topic for your live stream. The next thing is schedule the live stream, get it scheduled. All right. And pick a time and day that you're going to do that every single week. For us right now, it is going to be on Monday, and Monday is going to be our live streaming day. And then from there, we're going to show up. I'm going to basically get everything planned and we are going to go. And for the first 20 to 30 minutes of that live stream, because that's about, I'm going to do maybe 20, 30 minutes in the beginning, I'm going to break down that main concept. Now, this video is basically a recap of what I taught in the live stream. It's just a condensed version. So that's something that you could do very, very easily. All right. So schedule that live stream. Make sure that you're consistent on the days that you're doing this. This is going to be your recording day. All right. Now, the next thing is, when you go live, tell your audience what you're doing. Tell them the reason why you're doing it. Be transparent with them. I always like to be transparent to let the audience know, because I think that just builds know, like, and trust, which is really, really important when we're a coach, when we're, a course creator, when we're an educator. All right. So really, really important that we do that. Then the next step We end that live stream. When we're all done, we end it. And then step number 8, we're going to go ahead and create some thumbnails for each of those video topics that we did. Because when we're on live, and I know you might be thinking, but Scott, how are you going to start and stop? You're literally going to start and stop. I started and stopped, and I started and stopped when I did this live stream that now turned into a dedicated video. But you didn't really know it because when I started this video, it came right out with the intro hook, which is really, really important as well. All right. But then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to upload that YouTube video with that thumbnail. And then we are going to have a dedicated video from that live stream that we did that we only spent an hour creating. And then what we can do, if we've done 2 videos or 3 videos within that live stream, we can schedule those. Now, you might be thinking, but Scott, if people watch the live stream, why are they going to want to watch the other videos that you did? Well, here's the deal. If you look at your retention, for us, maybe 15 minutes is the average retention on a live stream. Those videos are about 30 minutes in, 40 minutes in. They never saw it. So we're actually doing them a disservice by not creating these bite-sized pieces that they can consume at a later date. All right. So don't let that stop you, but I can't stress it enough. To be able to take 1 hour, once you have your topics, once you are planned, you have your outline already done, this here can allow you to free up so much time, but still consistently be putting out that content. Now, you might be saying, Scott, this sounded great, but I want to watch the full version of you actually doing it in real time. Because yeah, I did it in real time. And you can actually watch that right here. I'm going to put that video right here. It shows you in real time, me doing exactly what I just shared with you. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there. Cut. That's how it goes, guys, right there. So that there video is done, and you will see that video surface. How'd that go, Scotty?
You're locked in. It's like back in the old days.
It is. Back in the old days.
Gonna answer 2 questions real quick. Hey, do you use the teleprompter feature or just talking bullet points? He just has the bullet points on do you have it on your like another monitor, or is it just
right here? It's right on my monitor, right in front of me. So I'm glancing down just a hair. Now I do have a teleprompter. I don't have it hooked up right now. I've only used it a handful of times, but I did think that I probably in the future, I might figure out a way that I could have it there so I'm not having to look down. And that might even just be the iPad that goes on the teleprompter, and then it'll just show me my slide that I have up there.
Yep. And then, okay. Do you roll all existing emails over when you pivot? So the old Etsy channel people are still getting current emails, even though it's a completely separate thing? No. So we create a totally separate list.
Yep.
When we started new, we started from scratch, from zero, brand new email campaign, all that. So yeah. All right.
Scotty, how long was that video that I just did, would you say?
I didn't time it. I'm going to guess probably 8 to 12 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, keep an eye on that. I want to know the next one here. So, all right, guys, is this useful? Let us know in the comments. But did you see, I just want to break that down. Did you see how I opened with the intro hook? I stumbled once or twice in there. I felt it, but that's okay. I was like, all right, I'm just going to roll with it. But I had the intro hook. Then I got into the content. Then I threw in the call to action to get the hooks guide. And then from there, I went on to the last bit of the content, and then I led them to the next video. And that was it. So I followed that formula to a T. All right, cool. Let's do it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my slides here. Let's see. And this one here is, okay, the YouTube strategy we're using to build a 7-figure coaching business. All right. So here we go. All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you how we are using YouTube to grow a 7-figure coaching business. And this is a newer business. I've grown them in the past, but this is a brand new niche, a brand new coaching business. And I want to share with you what we are doing in order to get there. All right. So if you are thinking to yourself, okay, I want to grow my coaching business or I want to get just more leads, this here is definitely going to help you. So let's just get into it. And I've got 7 steps here that I'm going to be covering. So step number 1 is, and this is really, really important, is we need to get crystal clear, super targeted on who it is we are helping. So we need to niche down. A lot of times people want to go really, really broad. Here's what I've learned. And I've made the mistake too, to want to go broader because I want more views or I want to get more attention. The thing is that's not really helping us find the ideal clients that we want to work with. And for the most part, if you are selling a program for $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, you don't really need as many views. It makes sense, right? We just need the right views. So getting really, really super targeted and niching down is what we have done. And I'll give you an example. So when we started this channel, which by the way, this isn't my first channel. I've had other channels that I've grown to 6 and 7 figures using YouTube, on the back of YouTube, which has been really, really amazing. But what we did here is we started a little bit broad. We were kind of going after, how to get views, how to build an audience. But then we realized that those people are getting started, which is there's nothing wrong with that, but there's so many people teaching that. And I'm like, you know what? I've been doing this a long time and I've built multiple businesses with small channels. I think I want to serve coaches and course creators and show them how to get their message out there, but also how to build their audience using YouTube without paid ads. So that was our thing. It was like, okay, let's see, how can we create something that will help a coach, a course creator, a consultant? How can we help them get that attention and get steady leads? Because we have been doing it. And this channel, we've been doing it. Since we started this channel, currently over 35,000 subscribers, which is great. Subscribers are great. It shows you that people are resonating. But what's more important is getting those email subscribers. They're leads, but I look at them as individual people. And we've gained over 11,000 active email subscribers and has already done over $100,000 from those emails and from those people. But what I'm trying to say here is that what we need to do is we need to get really, really specific. So I want you to ask yourself that question is, do you know exactly what problem you solve and who you help? And is it niche down enough? You don't need to be a jack of all trades in order to be successful. But I really think if you focus on getting someone a result on a problem, it's either in their business or it's something that they're struggling with financially, or it's something that they're struggling with in a relationship. If you can find that one thing that you specialize in, you're going to rise above everyone else. And if you're selling something that's a little bit more expensive, you don't need as many people, right? And then you can start to help those people a lot more. So the second thing is we are going to, and this is what we're doing right now as we speak, is we're focusing on titles and niche topics, outliers, and using our own data. And what I mean here by that is we're focusing on certain topics that we know that coaches and course creators and consultants are struggling with. And a lot of times right now, top of mind is they wake up in the morning, because I am one of them. How many leads are we going to get today? Are we going to get, I say leads, how many people are we going to be able to attract to get our message in front of them? And I know leads is the name that everyone uses, but I like to look at it as like, how are we going to get more attention today from the right people so we can help them? And I know that if you're a business owner, you're thinking to yourself, how do I get more leads? How do I get steady leads? Well, I'm going to pay for them on Facebook, and I'm going to spend $5, $10, $35 per lead. We actually got a coach that we've helped, and he was paying $35 for a Facebook lead, which is crazy. And then we had a video we helped him with that got over 300,000 views, which is great. But more importantly, it was able to get him over 1,800 new email leads that are interested in his fitness. And he niched down. He's helping people that are over 40. So it's another example on how to get really crystal clear on that. But titles and the topics are extremely important. And speaking of titles, that's where a lot of people, they just kind of throw it up there. They don't put a lot of time in there. We want to think about the titles. That's what we're doing. And we're testing titles. We're testing titles all the time. We actually give out these titles that have worked well for us to our students and our clients. And I'd actually like to give you a copy of that. It's a swipe file. There's 10 of our top titles, outlier titles, we call them, and they're plug and play. We actually turn them into templates. If you'd like a copy of that, just put hooks in the comments and we'll send you a copy of that. Once again, just put hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy of that. And you'll see exactly how you can take a title and you can craft it in a way that serves your audience, but also gets attention, not just with your audience, but with the algorithm. So definitely check that out. All right. The third thing is posting 2 to 3 long form videos per week consistently. Consistency is key. A lot of times people get stuck. They're like, I don't know what to create. I don't know how to create. Well, it doesn't need to be that complicated, but you do need to commit to it, because let's face it, if you don't get new people, new eyeballs, you're not going to have a business that long. We got to keep the attention growing out there. So this way here, we can go ahead and get more clients coming into our world. All right. So that's the third thing, posting 2 to 3 long form videos a week. The fourth is we always want to add a CTA, a call to action in our video. And if you noticed, I already did one. I just did it a minute ago. You see, I talked about a problem that coaches and course creators and consultants, people that are in business, that they struggle with. And that is, what title do I do? I don't know. That's where we got to start, right? That's the first piece. So I give you that to help you, but also now you get to raise your hand and go, hey, I'm a coach, I'm a course creator, I'm a business owner. I'd love to learn more. That's how we do it, right? So you just saw that in real time, how I was able to do that. The fifth thing is we are posting, generally it's daily, and that is community posts. If you're not using community posts, man, oh man, you really, really need to, because what this does is it builds the audience even deeper. Yes, we get them on our email list. We can nurture, we can get them to know, like, and trust us, but having a community post also gives us some real data, which is really, really powerful. So we're doing that on a regular basis. And then the sixth thing is we're emailing our list to a relevant video that we posted on YouTube. So yes, we want YouTube to give us some traffic, but we also can utilize that as our asset. And that's what we're doing, because then when people keep consuming more of our content, we're front of mind. And then when they're ready, they might want to raise their hand and go, hey, do you do any coaching? Do you do one-on-one? Well, actually we do, but we also do group coaching. You might be interested in that. And then we can have that conversation. So number 6 is we want to email to our audience with relevant videos. Now, I don't mean do a new video or a new email every time that you post a video, but you're going to have some that are going to be a little bit more relevant to maybe what their sticking points are. And then you want to draw attention to them by posting those videos and genuinely showing up to help them. And the 7th thing is, and I love this one, and that is weekly live streams. That's exactly what we're doing. We're doing live streams every single week. And what this does is this doesn't just help us with our community. It does that really well, but it also allows us to create a lot more content. Yeah. What I'm talking about is we get to do a live stream and then we actually get to create multiple videos from that live stream. And I'm not talking about YouTube Shorts. You've probably heard people say, oh, take a video, then chop it up and all that. We do it more strategically, because the big problem that business owners are facing is time. I don't have 5 hours to sit down and record videos, and you don't have to. And guess what? I recorded a video right here that shows you our 1-hour content strategy where you can create multiple videos in just an hour, and you can schedule them out for weeks, months. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there. All right.
All right. That was about 9 minutes.
Nice.
8:40. Yeah. 8:49 minutes.
All right. This is where you got to fill in a little bit, bud. This is where I take a sip of water and then you come in.
No, we got an update though from Matt. Scott and Scotty, fun update. Video posted 2 days ago has over 6,000 views. This one video so far in 48 hours earned me 500 watch hours, 350 more subscribers, 200 more email subscribers.
Oh,
Matt,
let's go.
Let's go, man. That's great news right there. I love that.
Amazing. So I guess we need to take that one as we need to take that one, Scotty. We need to grab a little screenshot of that.
I know exactly. Yeah, I'll do that on mine.
That's really good, Matt. Awesome.
And
And
Nicole
Carol
said
says
9
9 minutes.
She was timing it.
Thanks,
Nice.
Carol. Or Cheryl. I'm sorry. Not Carol, Cheryl. All right, cool. We ready? But you see, Scotty, this is, see, I'm showing
I'm
Scotty
new to
on
this.
how this
Listen,
goes.
I'm new.
I just talked for all that time. You need sips of water. You need to have questions queued up. You keep that going while I take a break. See?
I got you.
That's how it works.
Hey.
That's how it
Now,
works. See, we're deep into this now. If there's people still watching an hour in, they can see behind the scenes, like real behind the scenes, where I'm like, dude, you got to give me a little bit of space.
I wasn't a part of this part. I was just the editor. Okay. So now I'm on the screen.
Now you see what it takes.
I'm learning. Okay. Cam Vinny says, am I missing how you get people from a video to your email list? Yeah, I'll explain it really quickly. Okay. So we have a lead magnet. So in our video, the call to action, the CTA, will say something like, hey, comment hooks down below if you want our swipe file with 10 of our best titles, blah, blah, blah. Right? They comment hooks. When they comment hooks, we send them manually. We send them a comment back, a reply that has a little blurb, and then it'll say the link, or it'll have the link in it. When they click on the link, that's our landing page. So that's where they put their name and email. Now you just collect it in the email. So the whole thing is the CTA with your lead magnet, and then you're going to send them to your landing page, and then now you're collecting those emails. So that's the condensed version of how we're collecting emails.
Yeah, I mean, just put hooks in the comments, and we'll send you it. But actually, here's the other thing, though. We should probably let people know. So if you're here live right now, so Scotty, you probably would say this. So if you're here live, these comments will not show up as our comments once we end the live. They're only there for the live, which kind of sucks because I'm telling people to go hooks, right? You're going to put hooks in here. Then Scotty, you would have to comment and go, hey, I saw you wanted the hooks. We just put it in the description because what we need to do is once the video ends, then people will comment that watch the replay. Then we'll be able to send those people the thing. So there's a little bit of a hiccup there, but it's fine. Generally what we'll do is then Scotty will reach out, and if someone comments and say, hey, I just dropped it in the description, go check it out.
Yep.
But yeah. Let me see here real quick. Darn it. Let's see. Okay, we got one more to do, guys, which again, you can see this isn't hard. I already have oh crap. Sorry, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, so almost 2 weeks full of content right now after this video.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for us, because we're doing we're going to do, we need a video for Wednesday and Friday. So you're going to have one for this coming Wednesday. You're going to have one for Friday. Sunday is our podcast episode, which we'll record that separately, which you don't have to do that. And then the following week, you'll already have Wednesdays, right? Because you're going to have 3 from this.
Yeah. Yep.
So that way there, it'd be nice you'll be like ahead in a sense. All right, cool.
So in reality, you can make like a King Sumo landing page and get social followers too.
You can. I mean, I have King Sumo and it works. And yeah, you could totally do that, because then what happens is people can get more. King Sumo is more of a giveaway tool. I would use something like either Kit or we use Kajabi. I would say either one of those two, but we use Kajabi. But I've used ConvertKit for years. I've used them all. I've used Infusionsoft, now Keep, their name is. I've used Omnisend, like all of them. I've used a ton. All right, cool. We ready?
All right, last one.
All right, let's do her. All right. Okay. All right. All right. In this video, I'm going to break down the 7 steps to launching a $15,000 group coaching program and only spend 90 minutes a week. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. And that was actually what got my attention. And I want to give credit where credit is due. I actually watched an interview with Nathan Barry, who is the CEO, I believe, and the owner and the founder of ConvertKit, now known as Kit. And he has a podcast that he interviewed John Meese. And if you don't know John Meese, he actually worked with Michael Hyatt for the longest time. Well, he was on there breaking down what he calls sold out coaching. And basically he goes through a program on kind of like how he helps coaches get sold out. But it got me thinking, because I've been in this world a long time. I've been coaching for years. I actually sold $25,000 masterminds. So I'm not new to this, but I was kind of reminded of, why am I trying to overcomplicate this thing? And this here is a new business that my son Scotty and I started, Live Video School. And now we are on a mission to help coaches, course creators, and consultants get steady leads using YouTube without spending money on ads. That's our thing. So I want to break down with you these 7 steps that we're going to be going through to basically sell out a $15,000 group coaching. And it may happen with our first beta, it may not, but this is the goal. And then eventually we'll get that to 30, and then eventually we'll get it to 50. All right. But this is what I wanted to share with you, because I think it was really, really exciting, but also it's very, very tactical. So let's get into it. So the very first thing, and this is what we had to do, and that is, you need to figure out what is the number one problem you are going to be solving. If you've ever read the book, Story Brand, Donald Miller, if you haven't, you should. I'll link that up in the description. Great book. And it really does allow you to say, hey, I got to figure out who I help and what problem am I going to solve? Not what kind of all the problems I'm going to solve. It's like, what is the one problem that I'm going to solve? We are going to help course creators, coaches, consultants get steady leads using simple videos on YouTube organically without spending money on ads. That's our thing. All right. And that's what we're going to put our stake in the sand. And that's what we're going to say. That's what we're going to be known for. Okay. So that's the number one thing, is we have to figure out what's that one problem that we are going to solve. And then it goes on to the second thing, which is, what's the 10x promise that we're going to offer? So now we know that in this world of buying leads, like putting up Facebook ads and even giving away like a free lead magnet, or even like a cheap paid book or something like that, we know it's expensive. All right. So for us, I know that because I was spending a lot of money. I spent probably over $300,000 to $400,000 on Facebook ads personally, which to some isn't that much. And to some it's like, you're crazy. But I learned a ton. But the thing is I also know that if you are a coach or a course creator and you're spending money on those ads, I know that, let's just say $5, you're spending like $5 per email. You know, if you got 1,000 emails, that'd be $5,000. Well, if I charge you $1,000, that would be a 5x in the first month, let's say. But if you're spending more than that, well, then I could say I could charge you $5,000 and you're probably going to save $50,000 or more on leads, and you won't have to pay for them again, because we're going to create this evergreen flywheel that's going to be working around the clock 24/7, 365. So my 10x promise and what we're offering is that we're going to be able to help you create this organic evergreen lead machine without having to spend money on ads. So what is that worth? It's going to vary, but that's easily a 10x promise. All right. So that's number 2, is we got to figure out what is that 10x promise. The third thing is, what's the offer and our promise? So this is a little bit different. So our thing is, right now we're actually running a beta group, and it's 6-week sprint. We're calling it a 6-week sprint, to where we're going to help these coaches and course creators build their own flywheel. So we're going to go through, we're going to help them get really clear on who it is and who they're targeting. We're going to get really clear on that. We're going to help them come up with a lead magnet. We're going to help them come up with a better landing page that's going to convert higher. We're going to have a thank you page. We're going to take people into their first, set of emails that's going to get people to know, like, and trust them faster. We're going to build all this stuff with them and implement it. And then we're going to show them how to get videos created. So this way here, they attract the ideal customers and clients. And all of that is going to be done in that period of time. So at the end of this, they're going to have this full working flywheel that we're going to help them build. So that's what we're going to be offering. So again, having it really clear on what you offer is extremely important. So maybe ask yourself, what does that look like? And John had also said, start with your offer and then build backwards. So what is the offer that that was the offer I just shared with you. Okay. And we're going to meet for 90 minutes a week for 6 weeks. You see, the title that I had here was like how to be able to, grow a coaching program to $15,000 a month with only spending, 90 minutes a week. Okay. So that's where that came from. The fourth thing is a hand raiser email. And this is something that we did, and it's really simple. And it's like, read this if you're a coach, or read this if you're a coach and want more leads. Like, that's literally the hand raiser. And I learned this years ago from Dean Jackson, another OG in the marketing world, great guy and extremely smart. But it's basically, he calls it the 9-word email, but it's basically a hand raiser. It's getting someone to reply. And then in that, it would be like, hey, I'm thinking about putting together a cohort of coaches and course creators. I'm going to be helping them implement this flywheel to get steady leads in their business. Are you interested? That's it. And then people are going to reply. And if they are, you can give them more information. So that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing is you're going to send details to who applies. Okay. So it's like, oh, okay. You want more information? Cool. Here's the details. And it could just be in a Google Doc. And then from there, if they're still interested, they're going to click apply, and they're going to have an application. And that application is going to give some details on what they're trying to achieve, but also a little bit about them as an individual and kind of like what they're trying to achieve. And then that also lets you know, can I help this person? I don't know. And then you can make that decision. All right. So that's the fifth thing. The sixth thing is do a live workshop showing the system, like literally giving the system away. We literally did this, by the way, in front of a live audience. It was a group of coaches and course creators, and we broke it down. We showed them the entire system. We were on for like 2 hours, and we broke it down. We even are creating a playbook to give them. And we did this for free. Why? Because there's no reason not to give them exactly what the system looks like, because there's always going to be people that want help implementing it. That's another little side note here and a little tip for you. Don't worry about giving too much away. People are always going to want help implementing, and that's what we're doing here as well. By the way, if you would like to watch that replay and get that playbook on how we have gotten 50 to 100 leads per day consistently using YouTube videos, if you want that, just go ahead and put leads in the comments. Once again, just put leads in the comments and we'll send you that. And like I said, it's a full training that we did in front of a live audience of coaches and course creators. So if you want that, just put leads down below. The seventh thing is get client results. So this way here we can share them, and that becomes our future marketing. Okay, so we need to understand that if we get results for people, we can share those with other people. And then it's like, people are like, oh, it doesn't just work for them, it works for them. And oh, that person is a lot like me. Okay, so this doesn't matter if you're in fitness, if you're in business, if you're in relationships, it doesn't matter. When you share other people's stories, that helps people connect, and it helps them go, oh, that's like me. I could benefit from this. So our goal, our number one goal, is to help people get results, because we know if we help people get results, they get to potentially help more people in their business, but then also we get to share it. And when you share that, that naturally will bring back people that say, hey, can I work with you? I would like to go through that program. So it's really important that we focus on that. And that's a really, really important piece that a lot of people miss out on. But we really believe that by following this, it's not going to happen overnight, but by following this, we are going to be able to sell out our first cohort. And then from there, we will build off of that and then continue to grow once we start getting these results. All right. Now, you're probably asking, how do I get traffic to attract these people? Well, I actually shot a video right here that breaks down our 1-hour content strategy that will allow you to create content that attracts your ideal customers and clients with just an hour a week. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there. Cut.
And not post, but edit. You're around 10 minutes on that one.
Cool.
All right, so hit over our mark. If you guys didn't know already, we try to stay over 8 minutes. That just to add those mid-roll ads in there. Once you are monetized, not that it plays that big of a role, but you do get extra ads put in the middle, so you can get a little extra cash in there from AdSense.
Well, yeah, you get paid for your leads. I mean, that's the big thing, right? It's like we're getting paid for leads.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, we broke it down, know the exact number, but we got 11,000, or no, more than that, as far as leads came in.
Over 15,000
that are still warm, about 11,000.
There's 11,000 that are active,
and we got paid around over $10,000 from YouTube to build our email list. It's pretty nice, rather than some of these. I mean, we have a couple people that even applied to work with us that, I mean, they were spending $20,000 a month trying to get paying AdSense to try to get leads in. We have another even Gavin was sharing with us that for where he's at for in the fitness industry, it's like $30 to $35 a lead.
Yeah.
Just for one lead.
Lead, $35.
Insane.
Yeah. $35. Right. But for someone that's in business, right? Like his client, his the value of a customer to him over the lifetime of that customer could be 500, could be 1,000, could be 5,000.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at it that way, you're like, oh, $35, I'll pay $35. How many times have we heard on Shark Tank where they're like, what's your lead, or I'm sorry, what's your customer acquisition? They're like, oh, it's $20. And they're like, okay, well, how long before, what's your lifetime value of the customer? And then they'll say, oh, it's $100. And they're like, okay, well, it's an $80 ROI for the business. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, yeah, leads are a big deal. But so guys, let's just kind of recap this part, and this won't be part of the video, but if I go back here now, that was the notes that I was reading off of. Okay. And basically I was just reading off everything that I went through, and like, this didn't take me long to do because I know this stuff. And that's the thing. Like, if you're teaching something, you should know it. So like, this was the main topic of today's live. This here was the recap, but turns into its own video. Then here, this is just a separate video altogether, right? There's the notes. And if you notice, like, I have my bullets in there. I have my bullets in here, right? All of these. And this isn't working for me. This is weird. There it is. So like, I have my, like, these, generally I'm like 3 to 5 bullets is nice, but when I'm kind of showing like a strategy or something, there's going to be steps. So I'm okay with that. But here, you see how I put this here? I put the big problem. That's just to remind them of the big problem. Like, what if you don't have 5 hours to record videos every week? So I talked about one of the hardest things is like finding time, because time is like very valuable for coaches and course creators and consultants, right? It's you're running your business, you're helping clients. How do I have time? I think it's going to take this long. And I'm like, well, if that's a sticking point, right here, this is how you can create a month's worth of content in an hour a week, you know what I mean? Like, or in an hour, and then you just kind of direct them to that next video. So that's all I did here. So see CTA next video, watch full training on real-time session of implementing. Then this one here, how do you get traffic to the right people? I recorded a video here to share the entire system. So it's basically just like reminders and prompts for me to be able to kind of be guided through this. So, and again, like, I want these to be like 60 to 90 minutes. Like, we're an hour and 18 minutes in, but once we hit end here, we're done for the week. As far as like, yes, you got to take the videos and cut them, but I mean, that's not going to take that long. And once you get a system of like, okay, what are the fonts that I'm using? Yeah. What's the call to action might be a slide in graphic, and you have that already done. So there's a lot of things that you can repurpose as well. Thank you, Cheryl. Always providing great content. Cool. But yeah, so, and if you guys are a coach or a course creator and you would like us to help you implement our strategy for creating a content flywheel that literally is getting us steady leads every single day, and our clients and some of our students, if you would, and again, this is totally up to you. If you're a coach or a course creator and you wanted that, you can just reach out to us. just reach out, scott@livevideoschool.com, and just reach out to us and just say, hey, I'm interested in the beta. Or you can just put beta in the comments and we'll just reach out to you. But yeah, that's a program that we're going to be rolling out. Right now we're going to be in beta, but then after that, we're going to be out of beta, and we'll be streamlining it. We'll be making it better, because every time that we do a cohort, we'll get a little bit better, but all the people that are in the cohort, they're going to be gaining right along with us, because we're going to be refining kind of in real time. And is there any topics or anything, if you guys are watching this live or after the fact, is there any topics that you would like us to cover or go deeper on that of what we just covered? Let us know that. Other than that, Scotty, anything else we got to address, or are we good to roll?
I think we're pretty good. I was trying to see if there's any extra questions, but no, for the most part, I see a lot of support in the chat. I love that. Also, Connected Spirit Online, I'm assuming you're a spiritual coach. Is that true? If so, awesome. Again, we're trying to, here's the thing too, and this is all transparency with everyone. That's what our channel's been built on. I mean, you guys know we're going through like a little bit of a pivot right now, where we're starting to take our content and more focus on still about YouTube growth, but more YouTube growth for online coaches and course creators and consultants and all of that. And so like you're seeing the change, right? So like even like our views were like up here, now we're coming back down here. And reason for that right now is we got to retrain the algorithm to give it to our ideal audience, because right now it's pushing it to our subscribers and people that have came across our content that weren't subscribed, and it's all on just YouTube growth, not business stuff. Mm-hmm. So now we're trying to like kind of train to start getting pushed to the right people. And I can definitely see we're starting to slowly get some people coming in that are more coaches, even commenting and stuff like that, which is great. And I just think too, like, even if you're not a coach yet, but you have something that either in the future you want to turn this into a business, or something you're really passionate about, like, these are like the steps you need to be taking right now. And if you can just look at this early on, even just building that email list, like even if you don't have anything to sell, just start building an email list up. I mean, that's so crucial to anything. Once you're going forward, because that's going to ultimately take you to the next level, where not a lot of people, especially nowadays, talk anything about email marketing at all. Like it's dead, quote unquote, which they say every 10 years it's dead. But it's honestly, that's where you're going to take off for your business is in the email. And I 100% stay behind that, because like we talk about, if YouTube gets shut down tomorrow, all those creators making just their AdSense money, or let's not even say AdSense money, or all they're doing is having like a link in their description that goes to their website, their sales page or whatever. They're not collecting an email. If YouTube shuts all the videos down, or their channel, or everything down, they're all done. They would have to find another way. But we have all these emails where we can still stay connected. Okay, so Connected Spirit Online said, found you both through Ryan Lee. Awesome.
Nice. Love Ryan. Yeah, Ryan's a great guy. I actually just had a conversation with him this morning. Yeah, nice. Great guy.
Dream talking with Vicky said, pivoting is a little nerve-wracking for me. Oh, it is. Trust me. We took an ego hit on that one. When we did it, we were like, pfft. I mean, we were, and again, full transparency, guys. Like, you're part of the crew, so we're going to tell you all this stuff. Our videos were doing so good at one point that like we knew if a video was going to do good or bad by like the first like hour, 2 hours, to where we were like, if it doesn't get over 250 views in the first hour, we're like, this it's going to be okay. Maybe it'll pick up, but it's probably not that good. We're lucky to get 300 views to 500 views on a video right now for a couple days. So it's like, that's an ego hit when you're saying the first hour is that, and then by 5 hours, it should be over 1,000 views. But again, we were so focused on the views portion of it and not the ideal audience. And really, I mean, at that time, it was our ideal audience. But for our pivot is our ideal audience now and the clients we want to get. And now we understand that it really does not matter how many views you get at all. As long as you get the right views and the right people coming in, that's all that matters. So yeah, we took an ego hit, but hey, we're all here for it. And I think honestly, in the long run, like we talk about, this is gonna help us a lot and a lot of creators as well, because you don't have to worry about that number anymore of views. I think that's a big thing that everyone gets on is my video, doesn't go viral and it flops, like I'm done, and then every video is like that and it just hurts, right? But what about if you have a channel that only has, even like your photographer one, only has 16,000 subscribers. You had a couple of videos do good, but majority of them were like maybe 1,000 views, right?
Yeah.
It's still a 6-figure business. Would you rather take the 6-figure business or, make maybe 10 grand and every video is millions of views? You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes you just got to take that ego hit and see for what it really is.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I agree. I mean, I again, like we don't like looking at views that are super down, but then again, I looked at our video. We had a video the other day that was under 300, but we had like probably 5 or 6 comments that wanted the leads. Well, those are 5 to 6 coaches or course creators or consultants that basically could potentially want to work with us. And to work with us, there's going to be various ways, but like our coaching package is going to be 3,000 plus, you know what I mean? Because we're going to be in the trenches with them. So the value of that it's just extremely valuable, extremely.
Let's see. Oh, are your videos dubbed in Spanish? Honestly, I don't even know if we have the dub turned on or not anymore. Do we? Do you know?
I don't remember.
If we do, we do. I don't know, because so we turned it on when we got invited. Well, I think when everyone got invited. No, is everyone invited to dubbed? I don't remember. But if not, certain creators got invited to dubbed. We got it in April, and we turned it on. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it, because at the time we were still talking about YouTube growth, but our views were down as well for that. And I think it had something to do with the dubbed. That was my opinion. We did another video on it, and it did a little bit better when we turned it off. But I don't know. Is it dubbed? I've heard people say ours are. I really don't know. You have to check. All right. So still not everyone's invited. Okay. All right, Matt. Collecting emails in the beginning was the best advice you two gave. I started collecting emails before I had something to sell. Now I'm starting to sell because I collect hundreds of emails. Absolutely, dude. I love it. I'm glad that you started doing that too.
Yeah.
And now it's just dialing in
the offer,
whatever it is that you're selling, your training, your offer, your courseware, which we talked about. I think it was with you. Do you do are you doing personal coaching as well? Like any like one-on-ones? I'm curious if you are. Maybe we're talking about Jeff doing that. I don't know if we talked to Matt, if Matt's doing it. My wife has a YouTube cooking channel, so it has it turned on for English. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, you're launching your one-on-ones. Nice. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, let us know how that does too, Matt.
Cool. All right, Scotty. I think that's pretty good. I think we knocked it out. We're about at our 90-minute mark. So that's good. So basically, I will be done with the video creation process for the week, and it's Monday. So that feels pretty good. And then it gets handed off to Scotty, and then he can go to work on creating, the packaging and get those scheduled and uploaded. And then we'll be doing our podcast episode, which we'll record that at some point this week. But yeah, if there's anything you guys want us to basically talk about or go deeper on, let us know. Just let us know in the comments. If you are part of our email list, you can always email us, and just on one of the emails that we send out, you can just hit reply, and we'll generally get that. But yeah, and if you guys are interested in working with us, if you have a coaching business, if you have a consulting business, or if you sell courses and you are in a position to where you want to have help installing this entire flywheel and get it up and running, we'd be more than happy to help you, and we can give you the information on that. Right now, our beta is open, but we will be closing that and starting it in August. So depending on when you're watching this, but there will be another cohort later. And obviously we can just let you know when that will be. So we're still figuring all that out, but we are fresh in that. We do have, again, our first group is going to be kicking off here in August, first week in August. I'm excited for that. And we're going to learn a ton as far as, what we need to address that we might not be thinking of right now to help people get this all implemented and installed. And we're excited about it. But if you are a coach or course creator, consultant, you want help with that, just email us with, and we can give you some information, or you can just put beta in the comments. Yeah, the CTA, leave a word in the comments below is genius. I have to admit, it gets me great engagement and ton of leads. Awesome.
That's great. Yeah,
that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. All right, cool. That's going to wrap it up. And this isn't going to be anything fancy to where I'm like, go watch this video next. You'll probably see a video pop up. It'll just probably be one that's recommended for your liking. And hopefully this has been useful. If it has, smash the like button, leave us a comment, give us a little bit of love. We'd appreciate it. And thank you so much. And we will be back next week to record a whole nother batch. All right. So take care, take action. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
see it.